So if you watch a lot of my videos and you follow along through my videos, you notice I have a lot to say about insurance and the health care and the broken system that the United States of America is living under now. And in fact, in my heart of heart, if we went and we go through all the definitions of slavery, what is a slave and what is slavery, and we come to find out that, the insurance companies have definitely enslaved America. Not only the American citizens, but the leaders and the elders and those who have been elected and chosen by the people to represent us are also enslaved by this system. This way of thinking, this way of gambling, and just go over the true definition of gambling. Gambling over our lives, the care of our health, the care of our children, the care of our mothers and our fathers, our grandparents, our grandchildren, our neighbors, those whom we love and hold dear to ourselves. We have elected a president who's pro-life. A Christian guy who holds the things of God and the oracles of God dear to his heart. Sure, he's not perfect, but he's honest. Sometimes honesty and the truth can hurt other people's feelings. But pro-life. What is pro-life? Yeah, we love to say to this unborn child, we all love to agree that life begins where blood exists. So when the heart beats, the life is there, for the spirit is within the blood. And there's life, right? Well, what about us who are walking in this world? Are we considered alive? And if we're considered alive, and we all want to give care and the rights to this human being that is yet unborn, what about us who have been born? Do not we matter? We have a thing across America, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, we all matter. We all matter, and we matter to each other. We matter to those who love us. And because we love one another, we try and faithfully choose people who are going to rule over us, not to rule and oppress over us, but who love us in a way they're willing to protect us. And so we put people in place of the government, and we create laws in the United States of America, all of America, in the way of America, from people gathered throughout all the world, come to one place, because in this place, we could worship God in our own way without fear. And we will elect people to rule over us who are going to protect that right. Our right to speak, our right to live, our right to seek liberty and justice and happiness. You know, happiness is in there. What's one man's happiness may be another man's disaster. And that's the thing that we got to kind of come to grips with in our world. You know, God brings people together through His Spirit to show mercy. And one of the things that we see in America is we are clearly divided. And the divided country will crumble. It will crash. Good news is the division is created through the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Righteousness, morally living a life of morals and love for one another. You know, that's one of the reasons America is successful, is brotherly love for each other. You know, the graves of soldiers throughout all of America have no shame in race or color or religion or any of these things, but all agreed that to die for our right to speak and our right to live what was worthy. It was a price worthy to be paid in the hopes of the next generation would always have the ability to speak, live. And insurance is stealing that away. They're stealing our joy. It's stealing our happiness. It's dividing us. It's put a worth on us and a value on us. And even in the Obamacare stuff, that they would like to brand you. They would like to brand you. That's so if you died out in some other country, that one's ours, we own that, right? Or whatever it is. And so, in all of it, we're all fighting over who's the most healthiest, right? Like animals. Who's the most healthiest? Who's the most deserving? And things are so backwards and confusing right now that we think and believe that gambling for our health care and the care of the health of those whom we love is a viable option. Yeah, insurance sounds like a great idea until they all of a sudden make it a law that you have to have it, forcing you to have it. And the only way you can have it is to pay in this money. So you must be a healthy, working member of society. Well, because when you stop working, stop making money, you stop paying in. Hey, what's going to prevent me from working? What's going to prevent me from getting a job? So I can take care of my health care. I can take care of the health care of my children. Sickness, an illness. Sometimes could be a mental illness, and I got a physically able body, but I physically, in my mind, am unable to learn. This happens. I'm unable to be around other people. This happens. Illness and sickness. We see all over YouTube, all these kids, young kids, healthy as an ox. I have a friend, one of our own children, for our own friends, 16 years old, up in the mountains, going camping. Wonderful time, and I'm going to climb to the top of that tree like a monkey. And falls out of that tree, breaks his back in 3 places. Rest of his life to a wheelchair. This happens all the time. Being broken, break your body, and then unable to work. Unable to be a viable source of work or slavery into a society driven by slavery and money. All about the money, Pay your money and you get the care. And as soon as you get sick and you're unable to pay the money, you no longer get the care. But that's when I needed it the most. How many millions of Americans paid into the healthcare system and went 20, 30 years, I didn't even need the doctor, I was healthy. Right? Pay all your life into a system, and then all of a sudden, the economy crashes and you lose your job. 20 years of payments gone. And not just gone, it's you're not even covered at all. Zero, nothing, lost, gone. You get to go to the doctor, not at all. Our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-image is all coming and beginning to break down. Television influencing the way we think, creating this golden image of what we think people are to look like and to be like, all created through Hollywood and this fantasy image. Creates division. All of a sudden, these sick people who are unable to be a part of the workforce are no longer cared for, loved on, or seen as a part of our society, our neighbors, countrymen, and children, brothers and sisters. That's the thing is, people come here to love one another and to be loved by one another. Yet the epitome of the United States going out to show the world that peace is the way. We must love and live a life of democracy. But always denying its own people, of its own country, and its own citizens, their very dignity and humanity. Taking that away. Taking that away. Shouldn't say we the people of the United States. It should say we the slaves of the world. We're the slaves to insurance. We're paying in billions of dollars to people all across America. Buildings, you have to pay for the building, you have to pay for the electricity, you have to pay for the computers, you have to pay for the telephones of insurance agents, salesmen, who've never spent a day or an hour in a school of medicine, school of healing. And these people create the rules and the laws that govern over your self-worth, whether or not you're worthy of this care or not. And those who pay in the most get the best care, but they're also gambling the most. Those who pay in the least get the least amount of care. The rest of you get on Medicaid. Have you ever had Medicaid? I mean, a lot of people, yeah, you got Medicaid. Don't worry, government's got you. Have you ever gone and called a doctor and be violently sick and they say, we can't get you in for 3 weeks? But I'm violently sick today. Go to the emergency room. And their emergency room, charging $20,000 and $30,000 a night. We talk about injustice and then justice and wanting to stand up for freedom, liberty, and the rights of all men. Right? Go get 5 teeth pulled out. I had to get 5 teeth pulled out. 5 teeth pulled out. Took the guy literally 45 minutes, and it took half hour for the Novocaine to kick in. And the whole lot thing, 45 minutes. $500. And you wanted to charge $1,200. What? Because you're poor. I'll only gig you for $1,000 an hour. Right? Feeding off the weaknesses and the sufferings of other people. I remember you say you want to talk about justice and justice and the American way. God bless America. I remember when my wife died back in 2012, I had to give a stranger, a man, somebody I never met, never knew, or $600, 5 minutes to say goodbye to a dead body. Just for 5 minutes. And it was no problem, just as sick and as evil as you can be, staring into your eyes. And until that $600 cash hits my hand, into the fiery furnace it will go. And there's no crying, and there's no weeping, no shame or guilt. This is how much I care about my neighbor. And then we have this Google thing, and we have social media, and we come to find out, guys, everybody in America has a cell phone, is hooked to social media. Right? And these are the people we go to the grocery store every day. These are the people we work with. Right? And we're so afraid of one another. We're not even human beings anymore. We're got this class of being and this class and this class, and we got the working class, got the middle class, and we got the white collar, and we got the blacks, and we got the Asians, and we got the Mexicans, and the whiteys, and everybody is divided. And a divided nation will crumble, will fall. One of the speeches Trump says, right? Let's make America great again. Right here. It's your opportunity to see one another. To bring peace to a nation that has no peace. And it starts by having a leader who's bold enough not just to say go F yourself, but bold enough to say, hey, you're worthy not only to be an American, but to have the care that is due to an American, as our forefathers stood up and died for us to have liberty, justice, and happiness for all who come here. For all. For when we came here, there was none. None. Yet we murdered our way to have this justice and this life. Let us turn the heart of murder, hate, and envy, strife into a heart worthy of the calling of God's kingdom. If we're pro-life, should we not be pro-life? Pro-care for life? All will be sick, from the greatest to the weakest. We see the athletes, our warriors, football players, people who devote their lives to health, to having a rock solid body that's glorified by all men. And yet they die. Yet they get cancer. 12-year-old children get cancer and die. And we're allowing a group of people who have no care for our care to rule over whether or not we deserve it. You know? And that's the thing, is those who are so willing to pay into it all their lives. When it's ripped out from you, when the care is no longer there, when they come to you and you're sitting there and you see the greatest of the great, the movie stars and these millionaires have the same cancer and disease you got. Be healed. Right? When we see Magic Johnson, right, walk 20 years with AIDS. But you got AIDS out on the street, 6 months, you're gone. Why? Well, your insurance company doesn't cover the medicine that we have available. Sorry. Go get the premium. Go get a better job. And we'll give you better care. Right? And why? Why is it not universal for all people, all Americans? And we can do this. This is available. It's so easy. Tax the food. Yeah, all doctors and nurses and the hospitals deserve to be there, and they deserve their pay, and deserve to be rewarded for what they do. But to have no limit on how I'm going to suck you dry while you're in the worst amount of pains and sufferings of your life, and then turn my back to you because you didn't pay enough money. It is the epitome of evil. It's worse than the murder of an unborn child. It's torture. It's tormenting. People are all upset and all angry. We could tax the food and say, oh, now we got $100 grocery bill. But you don't have a $400 a month insurance bill. You're not paying workman's comp payments anymore to have a business, because all health care is provided. All care. How many mothers and children are having abortions because I don't have the health care to provide it? This world is so hopeless. Nobody cares for my life or my being. Why would this child ever have a chance in this dead world? Giving an option to an abortion. Some young girls afraid. Hear the thing. $20,000 a night to have spend the night, have a baby. $200,000 to have a baby in the world. Jesus born in a manger for free. In a manger for free. I can't have a child unless I'm in the comfort of a hospital and all the nurses and doctors. Have one out in the middle of a field where you have no shelter, in the midst of the miry mud of rotten animals, And yet that person came to define something, to bring definition to what a human being is. You matter. And who matters the most to God? He who was born in the mare. And if we had a nation of leaders who would take it upon themselves to say, hey, those who are born in the mare are most deserving of our care, our love, and our mercies. So we tax the food and exported food. We export food to most of the world. All food exported. You tax it. You tax the food we eat here. The way we're all contributing. The food kills us. Think about it. The tractor that plows the food has exhaust, which creates pollution, which we breathe, which kills us. Oh, we got to spray all the food with pesticide, and that goes into the water, and all of a sudden we got cancer, kills us. Right? The food. Oh, we love pork in America. It gives us heart disease. The food. The very things that are supposed to sustain us in life breaks us down and gives us cancer. It kills us. In the end, why not allow the food, the curse, to be also a blessing? To be a blessing as well. Instead of fighting over who deserves care, love, and mercy, we began to share it with one another. It's in the same way we share our foods. Farmer doesn't just grow food for himself, but for the entire nation. Let us share in the care of that. That's the thing. Is you say, well, it's going to be too expensive, and it won't. That's a lie given by the insurance companies to instill fear into you so you don't break off the tit of Satan. $1 lotto ticket can create $1 billion within a month. $1 lotto ticket could create $1 billion in a month. So you're no longer spending billions of dollars to a people who had nothing to do with your care. That's gone. You say, oh, well, half of America lost their jobs. Yeah. One man's happiness should not be another man's destruction. That's not the American way. That's not what we were here about. That's not why we have hundreds of thousands of soldiers who have died and lost their lives. Not to destroy, but to protect. Protect what? Life. Life. To protect justice. And if we're going to be a nation built on greatness, love, and mercy, justice, liberty, and happiness, we must begin to love one another. And it starts with the leaders of our nation. But by allowing the chains of slavery to be released from the people whom it's oppressing. Create a completely different identity. Not government, and not by the doctors, and not by the insurance companies, but by the people, for the people, by the people. Completely separate identity as a public service to the public. Same way we have the game and fish, or parks and fish, or parks and game, and there they protect the habitat for the animals, all paid for by hunters, fishermen. We agree. We would love to go and shoot a deer and have a great, wonderful meal for our family, but in that we want to be responsible human beings, and we want all life. And every human being in America to enjoy that deer, whether you're looking at it, whether you're feeding upon it. There will always be a deer, and there will always be the habitat for it to exist. And the game and fish steps in and protects the rights of the animals in its habitat. So we have a whole separate government identity by the people, for the people, who are there to protect the care of the people, elected by the people. That way, if a bad apple gets in, you can vote them out, you can remove them. You know, how awesome would it be to know most people don't have a job because they don't have the $1 million smile. Lost their teeth along the way. Everybody had a nice, beautiful smile, then being accepted for a job. Right? Because, you know, healthcare, teeth, eyes, and body, all covered. All covered through the willingness of a nation of people who value love of humanity greater than the things of this world. The things of the world. Money. Gold. You know, it's amazing how entire Native American people couldn't understand how Europe and the world was operating on rocks. Whether they were yellow rocks or green rocks or silver rocks or gold rock. How is the world being operated and ran on a rock? On a rock. A rock can't feed you. A rock that cannot provide for you. It's a dead piece of earth. Yet that rock is more valued than a human being. And the Indians couldn't figure it out. How do we have no value as people? And here we are, and because we slaughtered all the Indians, well, let's turn to the next race. Let's turn to the next people. We'll slaughter them too, right? But when you slaughter them, you slaughter yourself. And if we reject them of the care, rejecting only ourselves. And if we're judging them unworthy of the care, we're only judging ourselves. You know, so tax the food. You know, that's the thing also, the lotto. It's amazing that all the lotto tax money, none of it, Colorado spends all of it on open space and trails. In places where people will never go. I have to improve the wilderness by putting a trail to a place where no one will go. They spend and waste this money. Parks and trails. Other places spend it on school systems and buildings and things that probably never get spent in the school systems on buildings and things. It's all stolen and taken away. Again, why not put this money and allow it to be both a blessing to those who win and a blessing to those who play? We're going to tax it and all these things being contributed into the care of our health. You know, you want to change the nation. See yourself as worthy of this care. You know, and it starts with the president. It starts with the leaders of Congress. If you guys can't see yourselves worthy of this great thing, surely you won't see us worthy of it either. So it comes to you. Are you worthy of this care? You know? And that's going to change the nation. Not only will it change the nation, we will be ambassadors unto the world. That love is greater than violence. Love is greater than war. There's no war in America because love is greater. I want to leave you with a short read from the Bible, the book of Romans, in chapter 14. Here's the thing, and the greatness of a life in God's presence is a life without fear. Paul, knowing that he is an ambassador of Jesus Christ, and an apostle of Jesus Christ, a man sent to the Roman Empire, one of the greatest empires the earth has ever seen, as far as might, murder, destruction, and torture. This is how they conquered him. This is how Paul conquered Nero and Caesar. Just right here. It says, chapter 14 of the book of Romans says, extend a kind welcome to those who are weak in faith, and do not enter into disputes with them. A man of sound faith knows he can eat anything, while one who is weak in faith eats only vegetables. The man who will eat anything must not ridicule him who abstains from certain foods. The man who abstains must not sin in judgment on him who eats. After all, God himself has made him welcome. Who are you to pass judgment on another servant? His master alone can judge whether he stands or falls. And stand he will. For the Lord is able to make him stand. One man regards this day as better than that. Someone else considers all days alike. Each should be certain of his own conscience. The man who observes the day does so to honor the Lord. The man who eats does so to honor the Lord, and the man who gives thanks to God. The man who does not eat abstains to honor the Lord, and he too gives thanks to God. None of us lives his own master, and none of us dies as his own master. While we live, we are responsible to the Lord. And when we die as his servants, both in life and in death. We are the Lord's. That's why Christ died and came to life again, that he might be Lord of both the dead and the living. But you, how can you sit in judgment on your brother? Or you, how can you look down on your brother? We shall all have to appear before the judgment seat of God. It is written, as surely as I live, says the Lord, every knee shall bow before me, and every tongue shall give praise to God. Every one of us will have to give an account of himself before God. Therefore, we must no longer pass judgment on one another. Instead, you should resolve to put no stumbling block or hindrance in your brother's way. I know with certainty, on authority of the Lord Jesus, that nothing is unclean itself. It is only when a man thinks something is unclean, it becomes unclean for him. For him. Mentally ill, unclean, unworthy of God's mercy, care, right? Unliable member of the workforce, unclean for the worthy of God's care. Or you smoked cigarettes, you weren't responsible with your life, unworthy of God's care. Right? Unworthy of justice. Unworthy to have the title and the dignity of human being. Unworthy. In our conscience. And if he's unclean, ain't I saying to myself, I'm unclean. I'm unworthy. If then your brother feels remorse for the food he has eaten, you have ceased to follow the rule of love. You must not let the food you eat bring to ruin him for whom Christ died. Neither may you allow your privilege to become an occasion for blasphemy. The kingdom of God is not a matter of eating or drinking, but of justice, peace, and the joy that is given by the Holy Spirit. Whoever serves Christ in this way pleases God and wins the esteem of men. And the esteem of men. Let us make it our aim to work for peace and to strengthen one another. Right. And so my prayer and my hope is that these words would resonate into your heart. And not just resonate into your heart, that they would carry it into the hearts and minds of the things you hold dear. Your children, your grandchildren, your mothers and your fathers, your brothers and your sisters, and your neighbors. You know, in God we trust. In whom's God do you trust? Let us be one nation, under one mind, for the love of one body, the body of Christ, for which you are a member of right now, on this day. Let us work together. Take care not to destroy God's work for the sake of something to eat, for the sake of money, food, greed, for the sake of something that's going to perish. But let us work together for the things that are never going to perish. Love, mercy, and grace. For a nation of people who have yet to be unborn, who are still to come. Let there be hope of liberty, justice, and happiness for them. And it starts today by understanding I'm going to be accountable for my life here in this world. And if I can't see my life as being worthy of God's love, how will I ever love Jesus Christ, who is all in all? Let us strive to remove all guilt and shame from our conscience. Like Donald Trump. You know, in a few days you have the ability to address the people, and every eye on earth will focus on you. And yeah, how powerful it is to tweet little messages about the negative attacks, but wow, you could blow them away like the chaff in the wind if you said, hey, you the people of the United States have been long overdue to receiving the justice, the liberty, and the happiness our forefathers died for. Let us work together for universal health care. Right now. Let me prove to you, children of Africa, your life matters. Let me prove to you, children of Asia, your life matters. Let me prove to those descendants who are remnant of the Native Americans that your life matters. All of us matter. And the evidence of your matter or your humanity and your dignity is a president who has been elected by the people, who is for the people. Let us stand together, hand in hand, and welcome Jesus Christ and the dominion of his kingdom back into our nation, where it belongs. Thank you for your time, and may God move you to do something today. For your steps matter. And there's nobody whom they matter to most than God himself. For he's pleased when you agree with him. All lives matter. It starts with you. See you next time.